Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Friday, March 28th. It's time to wrap it up for today. And what a day it has been. Talk about the knockdown, drag out kind of a day, right? So not much to show for the bull market today. We had a little pop up here and fold that back together again. Can fold that, yeah, the last yesterday's action, but you can see here how we asked code completely failed after the news this morning. The PC wasn't that bad, but I think the core was up a tenth of a percent. But I don't think that was that bad. But market started a little bit on the negative side then, and the consumer sentiment just set it off and pylon effect to the downside. And right now we're down here at the 56.20. So it could certainly go lower. I mean, it's I don't know where you're going to end up, but definitely this doesn't look like a very strong close at all. So there we are, traded from the short side of the market going into the overnight Sunday, Monday. The worst thing, my worst fears for today happened. They took out support at 57.30s. They took out the attract at 56.70s, and they're just heading lower. So traded from the short side. We'll see where they end up, and start from the short side going into Monday's trading. Now, I did try one trade on the ES, and look at that. Talk about getting freaking high-ticked, right? Is that frustrating or what? That is one frustrating trade. And I was a little bit late on that entry. I tried it, and it wasn't that big of a trade, but I did not want to make it bigger than I had it. And then the freaking guys had to run it up right up here and freaking high-tick me before you can see how they started failing, and it's like, oh God, are you kidding me? So that ended up with a $47 loser. And just a few ticks shy of making that a pretty decent trade. So there you go. Sometimes just on the wrong side of it. And I figured that going into 2 o'clock hour, I did not see a big move to the upside. So I figured a short trade was definitely, especially when this happened, a little run up here and they started failing. I figured that was like a retest of that rotation and it's going to fail. They just had to do one freaking little pop more and then shake me out of that thing. So that was a nice $47 loser. That sucked. So I didn't try that again. And it hasn't really gone anywhere either. I did, however, trade that from the short side on the ES. I'm going to adjust the levels. Watch that single print, 56, 40, 42. That's a 42, 43. And if they start trading above it, I would be a little bit optimistic about a little bit stronger close than absolute total weakness. Unless they trade up above this F print, the 56.70s, I'm not going to stay on the short side of this. So I don't think that's going to happen going into the close. If anything, I think they're going to try to take it lower. But I'm done trading it. I'm not going to re-engage it. I did take one more trade on the Nasdaq though. I showed you that. So I was up 37. I got one more trade in there. And this one again, I was late on that entry, but it felt very much like the momentum started happening up to down. So it just had to be, it's just typical day like this. They went just a little bit in my favor. And then they, of course, bounced right back up again. And this is a big rotation. This is a good 50 or 100 ticks reversal on that thing. So I had a bit of big stop on it. And I figured it's like, yeah, that's again. So and then when it started heading lower here, I just got myself out of it. I wasn't going to be too cute about it. It's just sloppy trading, and but I got enough to make the day a positive day. So at least I have a positive number on the P&L for the day. So I'm up 52 on the Nasdaq, and I'm down 47 on the ES. But now here you go. So now we're heading lower. So this is kind of what I was looking for. Of course, it's going to happen in the last half hour. So I'm just not going to engage it at this point. So. We'll see how far they're going to take it, but at this point, I'm done trading. So I'm up 52 there on the Nasdaq. I'm down 47 on the ES. But traded from the short side of the market. Who knows how far they're going to take it on the Nasdaq? They are down in territory which is really gnarly, right down here, heading down towards these lower end. Or they're going to retest the lows most likely. So we'll see if they get that far today or not. It doesn't look too pretty. So big techs are getting in, taking it on the chin in a big way. I see Microsoft. I saw Microsoft. I saw Meta. Oh, it's absolutely getting creamed today. Ugly, very ugly. So there we are. Uh, and then looking at oil and gold to wrap it up. The trade, before I touch on it, the bond market is to the upside. So they're definitely heading higher. The flight to safety, what's going on there. Freaked out market. I think it's massively overdone, but the market is just freaking out about tariffs and uncertainty and whatnot. So I'm just looking at it and shaking my head like, yeah. So these are what are people freaking out for? I mean, they can't see 2 or 3 months down the road, but totally freaking out about stuff right now, and it's just irrational, I think. So we'll see how the whole thing pans out. If I had more money on the sidelines, I would be actively buying right now. A lot of these stocks are very much on sale. I would love to get more and more money into it, but right now I'm kind of tapped out on that. So looking at gold, we gapped up for the June rollover. Hasn't really moved a whole lot since, just range bound. So trade that from the long side still. Watch that 30.95 level. If they trade below that, we may have a gap retracement trade going, but chances are we may actually take it higher before we retest this gap again. And then oil, not much going on. It just they were up a little bit, now they're down here to the 69. So that's trading in a pretty tight range. One big pop here around midday, and that was about it. So I haven't tried trading oil today. So no trades on oil or gold for me today. I did a few Nasdaq trades and I did one ES trade, and that freaking ES trade, that freaking trade. That's one of the things that we did that irks the shit out of you, doesn't it? When it just high ticks you out like that and then and then starts going in your direction. And to be fair, I would probably just have scratched that trade if I had a shot because I was fading heat on it. I figured out, okay, I may be wrong on this trade. So when I was, and this happened so quick, right? When they stopped me out there, they knocked it right back down here to the spot back that I scratched the trade. So I would not have stuck in that trade for a bigger win. I would just have scratched it since I was fading heat, and that's kind of what I try to do. But anyway, we'll wrap it here for today. So. I'll see you guys back in early on Monday. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back then. All righty, guys. Later.